Hi, Rosie. How are you today?
Hi, Carol. I'm doing really well. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. I'm excited to be here and get to
Mm,
share the messages for this month topic, which we picked from out of the different readings that you've done. So we're going to be covering nourishment for February, which I think is perfect because it's we talk a lot about, and it's not nourishing with the chocolates from, we
So it could be for some people, it could be. If it's got 70% or more cacao, it's very healthy.
might be deficient on magnesium if you're really reaching for a lot of
Right,
chocolate.
there you go. Right. Magnesium is a mineral most of us are deficient in.
But it's about nourishment in terms of we're going to look at nourishing the physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So it will be a nice little dive into that. So um, just let us introduce ourselves here. If my computer wants to work with me. Okay, here we go. So I am Carole Frank, and I'm an integrative practitioner of metaphysics. I have several areas of studies and certifications. I'm passionate about really creating tools that support you in, reaching your potential and growth and transformation. And because I see it in myself, I always say I'm my best customer because I've changed my life, by doing this work and by applying everything that I'm learning and creating. I love what we're doing with all the card spreads and the decks that we've created and all of those unique items that we're creating just to bring you to really embrace who you are and embrace who you can uh, understand yourself to be, greeting the depth of you, always kind of like that. So I'm happy to support clients with private and group healing sessions. I also offer past life card readings and mini healing session, which I'm finding they're to be very powerful. So it's always pretty interesting.
Well, and I can vouch for how powerful they are because Carol did a session on me last night. I have a problem with setting boundaries and overgiving and taking care of people. Uh, And so I do get taken advantage of because I don't like anybody to suffer. So we decided it's time for me to set some boundaries. And the session that Carol did was really, really interesting. And I hadn't talked to her this morning, and I got a call from a specific person who's latched on to me with clawed hands. And she called me 4 times and left 4 messages, and I didn't pick up the phone and I didn't call her back because she has a whole group of people that help her and work for her with her. But for some reason, she feels the most comfortable with me. And I just, nope, not going to do it. Not my monkey, not my circus, just other friends. And then when I talked to Carol later, we talked about what came up in the session, and she did this remotely.
Last
She's
night.
amazing. Carol is amazing. She did it last night, and it was so interesting to see what happened. So I vouch for what Carol does in her session. She's amazing. So if
Good.
you need to get more information, you need to release things or build on things, she can help you do that.
And let's get to know you a little bit more.
So, so I'm Rosemary Nevara. Everybody calls me Rosie. I am a psychic medium. I tap into my aptitudes in order to communicate with all manners of beings, including those, of course, being a medium, those who have transitioned. And it doesn't have to be two-legged, it could be four-legged. Actually, my dog who died in July was here last night.
Okay.
She visited last night. It was so nice to have that contact with her because I miss her terribly. But yeah, so I do stuff with critters as well. I do direct readings. I use divination tools. My favorite divination tools to use are are our oracle decks that we developed. And I like tarot. I use tarot decks as well. They're my favorite. These are among my favorites. I facilitate private sessions and I also do space clearing. I'm very passionate about using my gifts to be of service. Um, I was a teacher for 40 years, so I'm all about nurturing and helping people grow. That's sort of my thing.
I can vouch
Uh,
for that too.
yeah,
You have a very good heart and always giving and supportive and all of the messages, and you're such an open channel that it's just a beautiful experience to have you. I've had readings with you, but I've also had energy work done on me by you. So um, facilitated and which helped me tremendously. So I'm always grateful for that. So
well, you're so very welcome, and thank you for saying that. It's not it's a group thing. I have a wonderful team that works with me, my spirit team. I call them my peeps, and they are ever present and guiding. And that's how I'm able to do what I do because I have this amazing team that works for me. So it's a team effort. It's not, I'm the hollow bone. I'm just the conduit. So, so
but I
I'm not,
to it.
I have no beliefs that it's all about me because it's not, I couldn't do it by myself. Yeah.
All right. So we are going to be using some of our decks in the readings, and then we're using other people's decks as well. So if you're interested in looking at more of the what we refer to our decks as, because we feel like they're a family. So the I am was the first one, and then the manifestor was the last one. So and then they work independently, but they also work beautifully together. They kind of give you a storyline. So we refer to them as the body of wisdom oracles, which that was pretty nice. It feels like when we got the manifesto deck, it felt very complete.
Yes, yes. Boy, that was an interesting project. Holy cow. I learned so much from doing this. It was really fun. So we're
So
talking about nourishment.
we're talking about nourishment. So we're going to be talking about nourishment on a physical level, emotional, mental, and spiritual level. And then we're going to have a little bit more insights. And I think the messages that you've received by with the questions that we do. So we provide a um, in our Body of Wisdom Oracle Circle Facebook group, we provide um, a 7-day card spread. And then Rosemary is nice enough to give us readings with each daily, and we have questions. We've prepared questions, and then she does the reading. She pulls the cards and does the reading. So it's been a really an interesting experience so far. Just I think we're like in the 6th week of
Yeah, I
doing that.
think so. 6 weeks. Yeah.
And it's
What I
just
love about it is it's not so passive
mm,
because we put the questions out there and then we encourage our participants, don't take our word for it. If you're a card enthusiast or if you use runes or something else, some other divination system, answer the questions for yourself. The readings that I do are just sort of a general thing. It's
mm,
like when you go to a magazine and you read a horoscope that's generalized for a certain sun sign. These are generalized answers for that can apply to everybody, but there's nothing like doing it yourself to get something specific to you. So if you feel motivated to do so, you can use your own tool to answer the questions for yourself. And then if you journal about it, keep a journal. It's really interesting what you learn.
and I think if people are willing to do the work and really work with it, I think
Mhm.
they're really gonna experience not only an expansion in awareness, but just a transformation. You know,
Right.
there's a probable transformation that occurs because of that
Mm.
higher state of awareness and then understanding, and then looking at, wow, this is that, and then this is the message I'm getting. How can I apply it? So it kind of
Hmm.
also it's kind of prescriptive in some ways. So,
It is. It's not predictive as much as it's prescriptive.
right.
Yeah.
So on the topic of nourishment, day one, the questions that we had was, what are some of the ways that I nurture and nourish all aspects of myself to be more vibrant? And you pulled the card from the holodeck.
Yeah, the color deck is the deck that I was guided to use. And the card that came up, look at this gorgeous, look at this red. And that we're in February, so that reminds me of Valentine's too. Even the movement of it looks sort of like a flower.
Yeah.
So the card that came up was Passion Red. All of these cards, these are based on using the qualities of colors and their frequencies for healing purposes and growth. And each card has the qualities of the color, and then there's information about it. So Passion Red's qualities are dynamism, passion, and pioneering. So I think that this works with that question beautifully about becoming more vibrant. And each one of these starts, it encourages you to be open to experiences. I mean, how else do you grow if you don't open to experiences? So each card says, I am open to the experience of, and it's in this case, it's feeling dynamism. The qualities are dynamism, passion, and pioneering. So I'm open to the experience of feeling dynamic and passionate about my heart's desires. That's so important because we're here. Our heart's desires are linked with our soul's desires. And we're here to experience things in order to evolve. That's why we come to this planet because it's so dense and there's so much to do here that you learn faster, right? And you grow faster. So, and this card also says, my pioneering work reflects my uniqueness and uplifts the collective consciousness. So, yeah, we're all unique. We all have our own gifts and we vibrate with those gifts. And we're part of the collective as well. So anything we do ripples into the collective. And what better way than to be dynamic and passionate and vibrant? Well, that's a great way to to contribute to the collective for sure.
Oh,
Love this card.
I like the fact that it's the red is to me relates to the root chakra, which
Yes,
have that stability and that the earthly needs and sense of security. So if you're vibrant and dynamic and passionate, then it feels like it's the fuel that is driving you. And
right.
and then the heart, the color of the heart, the blood, red. So then you're really it's almost like you're feeding your veins, the blood with that dynamism, being
Yeah.
dynamic and that vibrancy. It feels like it's just the perfect answer to this question.
Yeah. Yeah. I always get wowed by what shows up.
And
So
also the
such a
movement.
beautiful card.
It's just a lot of movement also. So when I'm thinking
Yes.
red, I'm thinking, I don't think of red as like the red light stop. It's more for me. It's more like the fuel that just keeps on keeps going. You just
Right.
like the Energizer rabbit.
Yeah, I associate with life's blood. And
Yes,
if
exactly.
it leaks out, if you don't have it, you're not here anymore.
Right.
So yeah, it's yeah, I do the I think of it the same way. It's fuel.
Yeah.
It feeds our body, carries everything that we need to our bodies.
So then the next card, so the next question is, how can I best nourish my energy levels physically? So this Rosie pulled from our Oracle of Crystal Gemstones and Rocks, and the red Japster card showed up. I am red
Yeah,
Jasper.
two for two in the red, which really was interesting to me. It's interesting because sometimes we get when we pull cards, we'll get if if it's from our decks, we'll get the same colors.
Uh-huh.
So there's a theme that shows up.
And
Yeah.
then each of the card here start out with voicing a message of. So we're giving a voice to the gem or to the crystal. Earth child, you are spirit, and as such, you connect to all things. So in this time and place, you are stardust that has become an earth child. You are rooted in Gaia, rooted to Gaia, part of her cycles and systems. She provides all that your earth body needs to be sustained here. Standing on her belly, feel the energy extending from your root chakra and soles of your feet. Her energy rises up to meet yours, balancing your systems. Feel the vibration within you as it spins, connecting to and merging with your heart energy and your spirit. Ground and root, breathing deeply, taking in all that Gaia gladly shares with you. So it's really about, feeding the sustenance, giving us all the sustenance that we need. So I think it's a really powerful.
Yeah,
um,
it addresses our physical bodies, but it also does say, there's that connection to spirit as well. But it's one of the ways you can feed your physical body with that earth energy, because
ex-
we, after all, we're energy anyway. We're just everything is energy, so might as well feed it and keep it vibrant and vital
and dynamic.
and
But so
dynamic. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
embracing all the qualities of the passion red as well. So
Yeah,
the next card, you want to pick that one up, Rosie? It's
sure.
from the energy card. And then the question is, how can I best nourish my energy levels emotionally?
Yes, this is a card. It's emotion. It was so weird when it came up because it's the door to personal healing and happiness. So this particular card's about talks about how emotional well-being has to do with healing yourself and finding happiness. And of course, there's a rainbow here, which is for good luck. It's just a beautiful card, and she has a really the gal that developed it, Sandra Ann Taylor. She's done a bunch of decks,
Mhm.
and you took some training from her, didn't you?
I did, yeah, a couple of them, yeah. And
Yeah,
I really love her energy and her sister's energy. Yeah.
right. Yeah, they're twins. They're twins, and so it's really interesting that this card came up when it was talking about the emotional stuff, and so many of us walk around with emotional issues, and sometimes we don't even realize where they come from, the cause of them, or what to do with them, or how to work with them, or that they need to be healed. And if we realize they need to be healed, it's like, how do we do it? This card is a very positive, upbeat card about opening that door and looking within, going deep, and then moving forward from that.
I love the fact that it's like open doors, like wide
Yes,
open. So it's an invitation, just like
it
the color
is.
card is about opening up to an experience. So, excuse me, this is really an inviting card to step into. And then you have the on the bottom here, you have looks like lotus.
Yes. And what's that saying that lotus grows in muck. It grows
Exactly.
in mud. It roots itself in muck and mud. And so you got to go through that muck and mud to get that gorgeous flower.
And the water element is about cleansing.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of and then the greenery is the that flourishing to me. So it's life.
Right.
So
And
there's a
that
lot of
green
that
is
energy
healing
there.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's beautiful.
It's a beautiful
Beautiful
card.
message. Yeah. So the next one, oops, I forgot to change the
Yeah. You have a lot you got to juggle.
we're sorry about that. So we are on day four. The
And
question,
this is from the Akashic Record Tarot, and this is by Sandra Ann Taylor and her sister, Sharon Ann
yes.
Klinger, right? Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Klinger. So this is
So
this is a really interesting tarot deck because it's not traditional. So if you're a tarot enthusiast, the suits have different names, but it's really interesting and I love using it.
yeah, I like the energy of it also, and
I do
I
too.
use that when I
Yeah.
do the Akashic, accessing your inner wisdom. I pull a card for each person.
Right.
So the question is for day 4, when we caught up with the slides, how can I best nourish my energy levels mentally? So it's Hilarion, and Hilarion is considered an ascended master, and the card shows big windows and beings there. So this card is about assisting with clarity and direction. And it's similar to what Rosie wrote, is similar to the Hierophant. Is that how you say it?
The Hierophant, card number 5 in the major arcana of the tarot. They're both philosophers, they're both teachers, they're both knowledgeable, and
And
they
5
work.
is about change.
Yeah, and 5 is about change. So, yes,
So it talks about noticing your energy of alertness and understanding, being having an open mind, boundless sky of open-mindedness, and being bringing in light so that to be able to carry out and feeling mentally stable, you need to not have a fog, cluttered mind. So bringing in helping, he can help you. You can call on him to help you gain clarity and understanding, so that you can manage the mental chaos within us, and so that you can really see things for what they are and not what you wish them to be in some ways. Um, so it's asking us to also look at the past, you know, kind of identifying patterns, examining your belief so that you can change your beliefs, and changing all paradigms, because number 5 again is about change. So let's shift those all paradigms, and really being an open mind, having an open mind to embrace your uniqueness and finding your uniqueness. So getting clarity as to what you're here to do or contribute. So it's a beautiful. You wrote up step into beginner's mind and to become the eternal student. I love that because, like you say, curiosity is your friend, and it sure is. Um, it's for me is you can't make the right decisions if your mind is foggy.
right.
If you can't see clearly, and uh, if you get too much stress, or so really handling your business and doing the inner work so that you can have that clarity of mind, so you can make the best decision for yourself at that moment. Because a lot of times those decisions really can change the trajectory of your life.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah.
and with clarity, I think comes neutrality. For me, when there's clarity,
Yes.
there's neutrality that comes with it. And with that
Yeah.
neutrality, I can be objective, and
Right.
I can see things for, like I said, for what they are, rather than
Hmm.
what I wish them to be. So that way I can make the
Exactly.
best informed decision.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I thought this was a really good card for that, for sure.
So the next card is from our um,
Consciousness deck. Yeah.
yes, Embracing the Consciousness of My I Am Oracle. And the
Right.
part is downloads. Do you want to talk about that one?
Sure. And what was the question? I
Oh,
should print these out so I have them in front of me. I'm going to have to do that next time.
so that's fine. I can read them. We don't need to. So this one is downloads is how can I best nourish my energy levels spiritually? How
Okay, so
perfect
this is the
is
one on spiritual nurturing. Yeah, what happens is when I do a reading, the information comes through me, not from me. So I don't remember. So I always have to refer back. So downloads, this is a great card. Now, this is from the consciousness deck, and all of the consciousness deck cards begin with the phrase, I am grateful 4. So this is about expressing gratitude for the downloads of truths, working with sacred knowledge that's held within. And together they have the opportunity, the ability to shift us into higher frequencies and higher states of consciousness. So this is about tapping into what's given to you, going into your inner wisdom, your inner knowledge. Check with your belief systems. What do you believe? What do you know? They're different. They're different. And tapping into that and paying attention to information that you get that comes in from source, because that's guidance that helps you. So again, we're right back to being in that place of neutrality and open to information to help us grow spiritually. And when we step into our truths and work from our truths, we contribute in a way that is unparalleled usually. So yeah, so this is a great card for spiritual nourishment, the downloads we get from source.
And I love the card itself because you're having that first is bringing light, clarity. It's almost like glass looking at some parts of the picture. So it's like you can see through things. Then you have I just kind of noticed, that almost like the two eyes or glasses here. So it reminds me of, seeing clearly. And then there's that connection from top to
Yeah, the
bottom.
light beam coming down
Exactly.
in.
And
Yeah,
that connection. So it's just the perfect in terms of the visual. I think it's perfect also
right. And
to
every time I look at these cards, I see something different.
I know. I just
They never look the same to me. They always look different. I see something different every time. Yeah.
and there's movement also and oh, I just noticed. So I was talking in the middle, there's eyes, but if you look a little bit above, it looks like closed
Yeah.
eyes
Yeah, right
also there.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And it looks like a third eye right there, right
Uh-huh.
there. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's a and it looks different on camera than it does when you're actually sitting with it. So yeah,
Yeah.
very cool. Downloads. Downloads are big.
And it's just that movement of expansion also is having that clarity and
Yes.
having uh being able to see through things and with the clarity and the downloads you get the guidance that takes you into the more of the inner nourishment, like you're more aware of that what you need in that moment.
Hmm.
All the cards are talking about how to nourish and nurture yourself, and it's really an inner work, an inner inside job.
It is. It is an inside job. All of it's an inside job. Yeah.
So the next card, I'm not forgetting to punch the button now,
Is this
is
the one from Denise?
yes. Do you mind taking that one?
No, not at all. So this is from Denise Lynn's Sacred Destiny deck. Sacred Destiny. I love her cards. I have several of her decks. This card, the backs are beautiful. This card is about potential. It's sort of hard to see. It's a dark card. It's a volcano, and it's volcano at rest. So, and this one, what's the question?
So the question is, how can I be open to living from my creative self to nourish my soul?
Oh, right. This amazed me when this came up because it's about a volcano. And volcanoes have that whole Shiva energy, the destroyer and the builder, that whole thing. So it's when that's why it's potential, but it's a volcano at rest. So this to me was feeding and nourishing your potential that's at rest. Allow it to come forward, allow it to come out, allow it to be seen, allow it to come forward to generate whatever it needs to generate. And the possibilities are endless. There it's infinite. So yeah. So the volcanoes, when you think about it, like if you think of the islands, the Pacific Islands, they're from volcanic activity.
Mhm.
And they're living on a piece of ground that came from the ocean floor all the way up. So they're massive. And talk about being creative, creating that whole island. And then once it gets above the water, other things start growing on it and living on it and having that opportunity to meet potential. So this is volcanoes are untapped potential. And I think we're sort of like that. We don't realize how much we have within us that if we feed it, if we nourish it, if we allow it to come forward, it becomes creative. It's that whole potential that manifests creatively to allow us to basically do whatever we've set out to do, depending on how you manage your creativity and how you feed it.
I love that. I love that because to me it felt like the um going back to the dynamic vibrancy. It's kind of like it's brewing. It's like
Mm-hmm.
brewing on the inside, and then it's like allowing it to emerge outward.
Mm-hmm.
So, but first you have to recognize that it is inside, and then
Yes.
let
And then allow it to come
it
forward.
flow. Yeah.
And so many people suppress that potential and that creativity, and they don't nurture it because they're afraid of being wrong, or they're afraid that it won't be accepted, or they're afraid of being thought of as a fool. I mean, think about the people who developed radio and telephones and stuff like that, TVs. They had the foresight to see the potential of it,
Mhm.
and they were brave because they used their creative thinking and that potential to create something that would. There's a box over there, and but it talks if you turn it on. You can't see what's coming in, but it talks. That sounds crazy, but the people who develop these things have the foresight, the insight, and that creative potential that they allowed to come forward, even at the knowing that they could be seen as foolish. And so
Well,
but they nurtured it, and look what they developed.
I know, and as you were talking, brave and courage, to me, I see those words as a color, and
Hmm.
those I see them red. You know,
Yes, and we've got a lot of red. Did you know that when you see words or numbers or different things in color, like you see music as color, that's called synesthesia. So you're a synesthete.
okay. Well, I'll try not to say that word. I won't be able to pronounce it.
It's hard, it's a mouthful. So are you going to do our last card?
Yes, I will do Alaska because I think, from fueling and from, nourishing emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally. Now we got
Creatively?
tapping into the potential.
Are,
Now we have
are we going to go day 7?
this 7. Thank you, boss.
Uh-huh.
So this is from our I am oracle, and this is I am a visionary. So all of
Yes.
this potential at rest is coming to vision, and you can envision it to come forward and to come forth and manifesting itself. So it's about
Right.
my vision evolves as I evolve. As I empower myself, I take the necessary actions to fulfill it while trusting divine order. So for me, divine order means that whenever I'm ready, then it will
Right.
manifest
Right.
itself. So it's all about if we're nurturing all aspect of our being, then it gets fulfilled.
Right, right. And if you nurture that capacity to have vision, if you trust it, if you believe in it, and you nurture it and you help bring it forward. And right now, we're in the age of Aquarius. Pluto is also in Aquarius right now and moved into Aquarius. And Aquarius is known for being a visionary. So
And it
the energy is great for that.
Well, and it takes us full circle to the red of Passion Red, which was about pioneering also. So,
Hmm.
so that pioneering brings in the
It's all
creative.
pioneering comes, and you don't pioneer if you don't have a vision, right? So it did a big
I think
loop.
it's just perfect, and it's really allowing your vision, not necessarily knowing the how it's going to come about, but just trusting that whatever action you're taking, and as you envision it, giving it a life of its own. That's kind of the way I approach my project. Is, I'm just kind of like the starter kit, and then I want it to expand on its own, and just creates and creates. And I think that's the I am kind of created babies, which are the
Right,
events.
right, right,
So
right.
it's
Yeah, that's perfect ending to a reading.
So this is about seeing the expansion, just embracing that expansion from that almost
Right,
like the dark, so almost from nothing to flourishment, but also from all that is to fulfillment. So I think this is
right.
this is nice and perfect.
Well,
Uh,
and you know what it also makes me think of is that my eye always sees it as a figure eight on its
uh-huh.
side.
Yeah,
So if it's like this,
yeah.
it's eternity. If it's like this, it's infinity. So, and anything that's visionary seems infinite to me.
Uh-huh.
So we've got this symbol right here that also
And it's
models that.
And that perfect card answers the question, because I forgot to mention the question, but the what possibilities and potentialities are within myself waiting to be nourished and nurtured. So
Your
it's
vision.
feeding that
It's
vision.
your vision. Yeah.
So it's just perfect. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
Let's see. So please join us on the Facebook group. You can also go back in the different weeks. We have different topics each week. And then we have each daily post with the questions and the readings that Rosie has done. So please, join us there if you want more.
Right. We started in January and remind us of what our yearly theme is.
Step into your authentic self in
Right.
2025.
And the
That's
readings are ways to help you take those steps forward. Yeah.
And yeah, so this is what we're talking about here. So we're using Rosie's using tarot and oracle cards, and each week we're check out daily card pull and reading from Sunday to Saturday. And each Sunday we carry out a new topic. So, and we have more spreads if you want to, further your expansion. And so we have several spreads that we've done, collections, and we have unique ones that are working along the spine. We have one that I've done, which is the 45 points of the stomach meridian. And, a lot of it with the stomach meridian, it's our emotion. We carry a lot of emotions in the stomach area. So a lot of us have maybe have digestive issues or things like that. So, looking at what is the body's telling you, what messages is the body trying to lead you to understand and shift. So it's trying to bring clarity to those areas. So I thought it was fascinating. I almost felt like a download
When
when I
it came through. Yeah. When you were writing it. Yeah. I just thought it was amazing. Carol's a visionary, by the way. The last card really applies to her.
I
That
think
you even
it's so
have had the
heavy.
idea. She's very creative. She's an idea machine, and that you even had an idea to use that for doing a spread, which I thought was fascinating. And then it turns out to be an amazing spread. I like to do it in bits and pieces. Like if I yeah, have certain questions about something, I'll go through and pick the ones that apply. And it's funny because when I work with this spread, I start feeling things in my body.
Yeah, it might change your bowel movement. It
Yeah.
might reshift and open up energy that have been
Hmm.
stuck. So don't be surprised if you have physical uh, symptoms or
Hmm.
reactions
Or
in
it
some way.
changes. Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
then, but you can't work the 45 points all at once. It's more about
No.
you can randomly, intuitively, go from ask for a number, which number do I need to work on, 1 through 45, identify, you can use your pendulum, identifying which point you need to work on. And your body will always lead you to what you need. So I trust that. And that's how I kind of designed it. Um, and you have to be gentle. So that's why you can't work. I would work one or two, maybe three at the most points at one time because you
Right.
don't want to overdo your. We want to be gentle on the body, especially if you're having specific issues. So,
Right.
and then the newest one that I just completed is New Human card spread. So the New Human is really about elevated awareness and consciousness. So this is 50 introspective questions to fully embrace the depth of who you are and create exponential shift in consciousness. So this is the way that I see it, and I feel like that image is just about that. That rise in consciousness is like opening up, and it's got room.
It's rooted, but it's expanding.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's got that room on the inside to just kind of grow. So,
Grow and flourish. Yeah.
and
Beautiful.
then we offer an Oracle Circle every third Sunday of the month. And there is a fee for non-members of Patreon for certain levels of Patreon have access. We have launched our Patreon, so join us there. We have 4 tiers that we offer. And we're doing activities, we're doing post energy forecasts, we have group sessions, we have contemplative artwork, we have worksheets, we have affirmations, we have feng shui wholeness home tips, we have recipes, scrubs, we have all kinds of stuff
All
that
kinds of goodies, all
we're
kinds of
creating.
wonderful
So join
things.
us and grow with us because we're just relaunched from in February. So we would love to have you there. And those are some of the offerings that we're doing. So the Insights for February it's cards reading. So this is a replay that you have access to. The Q&A, you can be on with us if you wanted to do that. Embracing all facets of you. So this is the for this month we're talking February, we're talking love and self-love and acceptance. So I thought this would be a perfect session to do so. In the sessions we create an expansion, so it's embracing all facets of you. So the replay drops on the 14th. Then we have the Oracle Circle on the 16th. Then we have on the 23rd, we would have a 111. So you want to talk a little bit about that, Rosie? What's that?
Sure. A 111 is where we'd be on a Zoom and you can come with your questions and you get, I'll be doing it for 1 hour. So it's one question, one card, one answer for 1 hour. So you give me a question, I pull a card, show you the card, and then give you the response to your question that comes through via the card. There is an art to asking questions. The best way to ask questions is open-ended, not yes, no questions. I interviewed for a job. Am I going to get the job? Well, it's either yes or no, right?
Right.
So, but if you want to get the most out of a question like that, you say, I interviewed for a job. What are the possible outcomes of this job? Well, then it might come out that, well, you interviewed, you didn't get the job, but they liked your interview and they saw that your talents are better fitted for another job that they're going to be opening up. So if you had just asked if you got the job, yes or no, that's all you would have gotten. But if you ask about possibilities, potentialities, then you get a deeper answer. So if you choose to do this with us, think about how you want to ask your questions to get the most information because it comes in through my team and they'll just talk until they're finished telling you what you need to know. So if
Perfect.
you ask just a yes or no question, they'll say, the example I gave you, they would just say no. And that would be the end of it. So open-ended questions are best.
Well,
We're
and
looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. I love doing that.
yeah, that sounds like fun. I've never attended any of those kind of things, so it'd be a new experience for me. And on the 29th, so we're going to start a new moon circle. I used to do that years ago, and I always had some good participation there. So we're going to restart the new moon circle. So that falls on the new moon night. So.
Right, right.
And we have the monthly activities, the tips, art, inspiration for spiritual and personal growth. So that's kind of where we're at. For the 111 and the Oracle Circle, there are no replay because this is more of a privacy issue, and we want to be. If you're attending online, make sure that it's not too if you're okay to share details, that's fine. But if you're wanting to keep a little bit more privacy, ask the questions in a way that it's not revealing too much. So just think
Right,
about that as well. So, but there's
right.
no replay on those. We're
There
not
is because we
saying,
don't record because of
right. Mhm.
confidentiality. Right. So,
So,
yeah,
so those are the opportunities. And if you want to reach out to us, these are our emails, and we would love to hear from you. And we are here to serve you. So thank you for being here.
absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Rosie, for this fun reading. It's always inspiring and always fun to kind of get a feel of what it takes to Um, now I kind of, people can have a little bit more of an understanding of how they can nourish themselves,
Right.
what to do and what to use. So
Get some guidance on that. Get some help. Yeah.
thank you for
Yeah.
your time. Thank you for
You're
your,
welcome. Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
thank you, Rosie.
See you
Bye.
next time.
Bye.
Bye.